Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Iron Personal Training YouTube channel. In this video we're going to do a quick overview of my last block of training, which is my block where I've been doing 12s on all of my main lifts. And we're going to talk about what I found good about it, if there's anything I change next time I run it, and just give you an insight into what I was trying to achieve, what I feel like I've achieved, and just take it from there basically. So like I've said in a lot of the videos going through this higher rep block, that it's a long time since I've done this much volume, especially on my main lifts. It's years since I've done it on any of them, and it's even longer really since I've done 12s on like my squats and my deadlifts. So we're going to talk about the lifts each individually, feel like what I've got from it, and then we're going to just take it from there. So squats coming first. I really do feel like I've benefited a lot from doing it from squats. My legs are feeling a lot bigger and a lot stronger. I feel like it's given me an understanding of how much weight that I can actually aim for with my squats basically. I think the not ease that a lot of it went at, but the fact that a lot of it in this block of 12, the weight never felt particularly hard. Obviously doing the 12 reps felt hard, but that was mainly because of the fatigue that built up and the cardiovascular challenges it was giving rather than the weight itself. It's definitely shown me that my low bar is definitely the way to go, and it's felt really good with that as well. Obviously for the back off work, because you'll have seen it in videos as well, we've been doing pauses where we've been adding the pause each rep, and I felt that's been really good as well. I feel much more stable at the bottom of a movement, and yeah, I just feel like once you get into that strength phase, that extra bit of muscle that I've built for my squats is going to be fantastic, and I really feel like I'm going to be able to push on with my squats now. And as much as like running conjugate for a few years now, I obviously meant to learn how to strain with conjugate. That's the point of doing like maximal effort work. But I do feel that doing those last few reps on like a 12 rep set really do teach you how to strain against the weight, because not only are you feeling fatigued at that time, like you're at probably like your weakest point in many ways, because you're feeling the weight, you're feeling the fatigue, and obviously you're feeling the cardiovascular challenges of doing that many reps, especially with like a relatively heavy weight as well. Like the maximum we went up onto that was 135 kilos. So, you know, it's not anything ridiculously heavy, but it's heavy enough to be challenging for those 12 reps as well. So yeah, really enjoyed that. In terms of the accessory works I've done with this, the quadrat squats have felt really good. Feel like I've really strengthened the area that was weak. And just focusing on using those Cossack squats, not necessarily as like a traditional Cossack squat, but just as a way of strengthening that area, as a lot of people have done in, if you watch some SS strength specific like rugby training and stuff like that, or sports where people need to change direction. So that's where I got that from, and I definitely feel like it's had a benefit. Obviously I've already talked about the back offs, doing a double deadlifts in it as well, so that's something we're going to change in the next block, but we'll talk about that when we come to the fourth session in a bit. The seated good mornings I would change to do with a safety bar just all the time rather than a straight bar. I just feel like the straight bar, the discomfort felt doing it with a straight bar nowhere near like counteracts any benefits you're getting from it compared with the safety bar. I feel like with a safety bar I can push it more just because of how the weight feels on my back. So that's definitely something that I'm going to keep in mind for next time I do it. Coming on to bench next, and bench has felt really good. Like, it's given me a lot of confidence to again keep pushing my bench forward. My chest is feeling much fuller. I've actually gone up a t-shirt size, so this I usually wear 2XL. One of these is actually 3XL. As you can see, it looks baggy, but it's not looking ridiculously baggy, especially over the top part of my body. So I definitely feel like I built up some of that strength. Doing the back off works we did with bench as well, where we're pausing at the bottom and pausing halfway up, and obviously adding a count every time has felt fantastic. Really feel like that's going to help, and what I'm probably going to do is implement that again later, but maybe with a lower rep range and a higher weight. So look forward to doing that as well. Obviously adding in things like the flies and the rear delt flies have been really good. Feel like just my chest feels much fuller than it was before. I feel like there's some weaknesses that have been taken out, so flies will probably come back in again. And obviously Penley row is something that's always in and out of my program. It's always like a staple of my program, so it might be out for like a 1 4-week block, but then it's probably likely going to be in again. So really looking forward to it, especially pushing the heavy weights and that, seeing as far as I got with the sets of 10 to 12 on there as well. And then for obviously the tempo, that pull down weight, that's been fantastic. Again, back feels much bigger, much fuller. It's just feeling good. I just feel like it's strengthened areas that felt weaker. Now coming on to deadlifts, probably deadlifts are the biggest change that has gone through anything in this program, because I've done doing a sumo block. So I'm going to do a sumo block all the way up for a strength phase. So I'm going to keep it in for like the high reps. So 12s, 10s, we're going to do 6 6s, 5 5s, 3 3s, and then probably 3 singles. Each one of them is going to be like a 4-week block. At the moment, that's the plan. Obviously, things might change depending on when comps come up and things like that. But that's the plan at the moment. And the sumos have been really good. It's definitely been a learning experience. I feel like by the end of this, I've learned to wedge myself in better. With the start, I was definitely pulling too much with my back, rather than using my legs to generate that force. And I feel like that has changed as it's gone along, and I've been able to adapt my sumo to that. Still definitely plenty of work to do on sumo, and I'm sure when I get to like the heavier weights, there's still going to be bits to tweak and change. But yeah, definitely enjoying doing those sumos. Yeah, and then obviously the back ops, doing the pause sumos. I maybe started a bit light with them, but like I was saying, because I was pulling too much of my back before, I was getting like a massive back pump out of it. So dropping the weight seemed like the more sensible thing to do. But I definitely feel like if I put that back in, I'll be able to push the weight more, because I won't be having that same effect. We also did in those blocks speed, high bar squats, which were again, we're going to talk about at the end, because we're going to change the way that I'm going to implement speed work into my training. We were doing the tempo hamstring curls, which again felt really nice. Hamstrings are feeling really nice and full. So yeah, so all the work on that felt fine and really good, and I feel like I'm in a good position with that movement. I'm definitely enjoying doing the sumo pulls. I'm not sure if I'm going to convert fully to sumo. I'm still going to do all my speed work as conventional unless it comes up to comp time and I've decided that I'm going to stick with sumo, and then we'll switch that out. So coming on to the fourth day was like a second press day. We were doing some heavy board presses, so 5x5s to a 6-inch board, going up to 170 was the top one. We were doing strict shoulder press, which was really fun to put back in the program. Then we were doing some row variations, again, lat pull downs, and obviously tricep bicep work as well. This day felt good. It probably didn't feel as good as the other days. Just because it didn't feel as connected to my training as the rest of it did, I'd say. But it still felt good. Like the bench stuff felt really nice. Like even the 5.5s at 170. I know it's obviously the range of motion is very much decreased, but it still felt really strong. Enjoyed doing the shoulder work. Managed to get up to 60 kilos, getting 3 sets of 10 on the strict. The 65 we went to at the end, I got 9.55, so it might have been more sensible if I was going to run this again to go to 62.5, or maybe do slightly smaller jumps or start at a lighter weight. But like I said in some of the videos, like putting the shoulders in was just because I've not trained them in so long, and I wasn't necessarily bothered about hitting certain weights and getting a certain strength goals with the shoulders. It was just to get some work back into the shoulders. Really enjoyed them. But what I'm going to do in this next block is we're going to take out the second press day and we're going to swap it to a squat bench deadlift day, which is all going to be speed work. So as I'm recording this, the videos are quite behind when I'm training this, so I'm actually a week and a half into my blocks of 10 training, and I've already done the first SBD speed day, and it was really good and I really enjoyed it. So you'll get to see that coming out in a couple of weeks or so, maybe a bit sooner actually. But I definitely think that's a more beneficial alternative, because what it means as well is that I don't have to do deadlifts on squat day. I don't have to do squats on deadlift day. I can focus a bit more on them being like pure speed work rather than just slotting them in into a workout where they might not necessarily have been needed and used as effectively. Like doing a dim to a nice in a squat day, but obviously when you're doing like low bar squats, there's a lot of hinging movements in there anyway, so sometimes like the glutes are feeling a bit fatigued, whereas if I'm going to do them on this kind of speed day, it's going to give me more of a focus on that aspect and really push forward with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping doing that. Obviously, like I said, because you're behind, the videos coming out, they're going to be at least 2, I think, which is still going to be at Steel Physique. I've obviously now left Steel Physique, as anybody who follows me on Instagram will know. I'm now at Sheffield Strength Performance Centre and really liking it there. I really think it's going to be beneficial to my training. Love the kit they've got there, really enjoying it, really enjoy the atmosphere. But that's obviously another big change that's come from this block. So what would I say my conclusions were about this block? I would say I've really enjoyed doing it. It's been really nice to do some high volume work and a different style of training. If you're somebody who's not done a lot of high volume training, especially on your main lifts, I would highly recommend you going and giving this a try. Obviously, depending on where you are, if you're going to do comps and stuff like that, you need to be quite far out of comp, I'd say, to do this. You don't necessarily want to be doing this if you're 8 weeks out. You really want to be focusing on obviously that peaking phase, but without it, I feel like I've worked on a couple of weaknesses, and obviously time will tell to see how well that crosses over to my maximal work. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, just talking over my 12-week block. I'll do one at the end of my 10s block as well if you've enjoyed this, so do let me know in the comments. If you do have any questions, the best place to get hold of me is to message me on my Instagram, which the link will be in the description below. But apart from that, guys, if you have enjoyed and you're looking forward to seeing the videos that are coming soon, do remember to like and subscribe to the videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you all for watching.